English 6, Quarter 4, Week 1, Melc-Based. Let's learn about tenses of verbs. This is from Learner's Packet Lip. Hello kids, it's me, Teacher Frel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell for the latest video. You can also follow my Facebook page, Teacher Frel TV. For today's lesson in English 6, we will discuss about tenses of verbs. For most essential learning competencies, compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structures, tenses of verbs. Before we begin this week's lesson, let us first have a recall on the lesson that you have taken up when you were in grade 5. Read the passage below. Let us see if you can remember what the highlighted words are. Let's read the passage all together. Philip is an incoming grade 6 pupil. He is very excited because finally, it is his last year as an elementary pupil. He prepares all things that he will need for the next school year. He brought ball pens, notebooks, and papers. He decided that he will iron his clothes the day before the opening of classes. He excitedly puts his things inside his bag and kept it in his cabinet. A day before opening of classes, he covered his notebooks with plastic and pasted his name on his ball pens. After a few weeks, the school year started. Philip woke up early and prepared his things. He did not forget to wear his face mask. He knows that he needs to wear it every time he goes to school. Philip is very excited, but at the same time, he is a bit afraid because COVID-19 is still there. Even though he felt that way, he still knew that he will learn a lot in school. Do you remember what the highlighted words are? Yes, they are called verbs. Did you notice that the highlighted verbs happen in different times? These differences in verb tenses will be the focus of our lesson today. After going through this lesson, you are expected to compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structures, tenses of verbs. Now, analyze the table below. Notice that the verbs you have read from the paragraphs above were categorized as to when the action happened. These are called verb tenses. In the first column are the verbs that happened. In the second column are the verbs that happening. And in the third column are the verbs that will happen. So the words that already happened in the paragraph are brought, so this is the past tense of bring. Pasted, this is the past tense of paste. We add the. Prepared, this is the past tense of prepare. We add the. Covered, this is the past tense of cover. We add ed. And woke up, this is the past tense of wake up. In the second column, prepares, we add s. Puts, we add s. And forget. And in the third column, the words from the paragraph that will happen in the future are will iron, will learn. Verb has multiple forms called tenses. These tenses are used to show when an action is done. In composing sentences using the tense of the verb, we need to remember the following. So here are the tenses of verbs. Past, present, and future. There are three tenses of verbs: past, present, and future. In past tense, we add the or ed to the verb. In present tense, we use is or are. Is if the subject is singular and are if the subject is plural. And also, we add s or es to the verb. In future tense, we use will plus verb. Here are the example. Happened or past tense. War. As you can see, we do not add d or ed to this verb. We just change the spelling. The past tense of wear is wore. Later, we will discuss about this. Then, the present tense is wear, or we can add s, wears, to show that it is happening. And in the future tense, will happen is will wear. As you can see, we add will before the verb, will wear. So what is past tense? Past tense are actions, events, or feelings happened at an earlier point in time or already happened in the past. To change the verb in past tense, just add ed. But if the verb ends with e, simply add d. But for some verbs, they change their spelling when they are changed in past tense and they are called irregular verb. For example, yesterday, the grade 6 pupils wore their face masks when they went to school. So this word is irregular verb, wore, because this verb changed the spelling to make it past tense. What is present tense? So present tense are actions, events, or feelings that are currently happening or repeatedly happens. If the subject is singular, we use the be verb is, or we simply add s or es to the action verb. If the subject is plural, we use the be verb are, and the action verb that we use will remain without adding anything on it. So again, if the subject is plural, we use the be verb are, and the action verb that we use will remain without adding anything on it. But if the subject is singular, we use the be verb is, and we simply add s or es to the action verb. For example, Philip wears his face shield when he goes out. So Philip is a singular subject, and the verb wears is s form of the verb. So we add s to the verb because the subject is singular. Another example, the grade 6 pupils always wear their face mask in going to school. So grade 6 pupils is a plural subject. It means there are many pupils in grade 6. And for the verb wear, we do not add s because the subject is plural. So wear is the base form of the verb. Another example, Philip is an obedient citizen. He follows health protocols. Philip is a singular subject, and we use is as be verb because Philip is a singular subject. Another example, the grade 6 pupils are industrious. They regularly sanitize their room. So grade 6 pupils is the plural subject, and are is the be verb. We use are because the subject is plural. Now, what is future tense? Future tense are actions, events, or feelings that will happen in the future. To change the verb into its future tense, just add will before the verb. For example, the grade 6 pupils will wear their face masks tomorrow in going to school. We use will before the verb. And now, let us proceed to learning task 1. Use the appropriate past form of the verb to make the sentence clear and coherent. Do this in your notebook. Number 1. Isabella's mother noticed a great change in her attitude and work. So what is the appropriate past form of the verb to make the sentence clear and coherent? Very good! The correct verb is notice. We just add d to the verb. Number 2. Isabella was a great student, but due to current academic situation, she lags behind her classmates. So what is the appropriate past form of the verb? Very good. So the correct past form of the verb is knew. We changed the spelling. Number 3. Her mother talked to her to know her problem. So what is the correct past form of the verb talk? Very good. The correct past form is talk. We just add ed. Number 4. Isabella realized her mistake. She made up her mind to study harder. So what is the correct past form of the verb realize and make to make it clear and coherent? Very good. The correct past form of the verb realize is realize. We just add D to the verb. And the correct past form of the verb make is made. We change the spelling. And for number 5, she began to get high scores in the test and she received 3 academic awards last quarter. So what is the correct past form of the verb begin and receive? Very good. The correct past form of the verb begin is began. We change the spelling. And the correct past form of the verb receive is receive. We just add D to the verb. Next, for learning task 2, using the correct past form of the verb, compose your own sentence. Write your answer in your notebook. So the verbs are number 1, notice, number 2, know, number 3, talk, number 4, realize, and number 5, begin. For number 1, the past form of the verb notice is notice. We add D. And here is my example sentence. Maria noticed that her cell phone was missing. Number 2, know. The past form of the verb know is knew. Change the spelling. And here is my example sentence. She knew the truth but decided to stay silent. Number 3, talk. The past form of the verb talk is talk. Just add ed. And here is my example sentence. We talk for hours about our childhood memories. Number 4, realize. The past form of the verb realize is realize with D. Just add D to the verb. And here is my example sentence. The father realized his irresponsibility toward his child. And for number 5, begin. The past form of the verb begin is began. Just change the spelling to make it past tense. And my example sentence is, she began reading the book last night and couldn't put it down. Next, for learning task 3, make the sentences clear and coherent by choosing the correct present tense. Write your answer in your notebook. So let's read the first sentence from the paragraph and choose the correct present tense of the verb. So Akila washes her hands regularly. So the correct verb is washes. Akila washes her hands regularly. So let's read the next sentence of this paragraph. She puts some alcohol in her hands whenever she cannot wash them immediately. What is the correct present tense for this sentence? Is it put or puts? Because the subject is singular, which is she, add s to the verb. So the correct verb is puts. She puts some alcohol in her hands whenever she cannot wash them immediately. For the third sentence of this paragraph, she drinks 8 glasses of water every day. What is the correct present form of the verb? Is it drink or drinks? Very good. Because the subject is she, which is singular, add s to the verb. So the correct verb is drinks. She drinks 8 glasses of water every day. Fourth sentence of this paragraph. She also takes vitamins to keep herself healthy. What is the correct present form of the verb? Is it take or takes? Because the subject is she, which is singular, Add S to the verb. The correct verb is takes. She also takes vitamins to keep herself healthy. And the last sentence of the verb, Akila wears her face mask every time she goes out of the house. Because Akila is singular, add S to the verb. The correct verb is wears. Akila wears her face mask every time she goes out of the house. For learning task 4, what are your plans? What are your goals or dreams? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Talk about your plans by means of writing a journal. Do not forget to use verbs in future tense. Underline the verbs in future tense that you use in your paragraph. Do this in your notebook. The title is My Personal Future. I'll give you an example of writing a journal using verbs in future tense. 10 years from now, I will be a doctor. I will help sick people by treating their illnesses. Someday, I will open my own clinic to help those who cannot afford to go to the hospital. I will also provide medicines for them for as long as I can. So the verbs that I use in future tense are will be, will help, will open, will also provide. For learning task 5, this is the same as learning task 4. What are your plans? What are your goals or dreams? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? And you are going to write another journal using verbs in future tense. Write another journal with the title of My Personal Future. And for learning task 6, what you learn will be more meaningful once you applied it in your everyday life. Rewrite the paragraph about an experience on finally coming back to school and keeping oneself healthy and safe from COVID-19. Write the proper tense of the verb to complete the sentences. Our school, open. The correct form of the verb is opens. Just add S. Our school opens at 6:30 a.m. every day. Yesterday, during the flag ceremony, the principal talked. What is the correct form of the verb talk? Very good. The correct verb is talk. Yesterday, during the flag ceremony, the principal talked. She reminded us the importance of wearing face masks and she teach us how to wash our hands properly. So what is the correct form of the verb remind? Very good. It should be reminded. And for the word teach, it should be taught. She reminded us the importance of wearing face masks and she taught us how to wash our hands properly. Tomorrow, we will brought our drinking bottle because we will have a water bell. So what is the correct form of the verb brought? So it should be bring because we use will before the verb. It is future tense. Tomorrow, we will bring our drinking bottle because we will have a water bell. We will drink water every hour to keep us hydrated and to prevent COVID-19. So what is the correct form of the verb drank? Very good. It should be drink because we use will before the verb. We will drink water every hour to keep us hydrated and to prevent COVID-19. We also wear our face mask every time we go to school. What is the correct form of the verb wear? Very good. It should be wear. We do not add S to the verb because the subject is plural, we. And school, be, really exciting. The correct form of the verb is. School is really exciting. We use the be verb is. So let's read the paragraph again with the correct form of the verbs. Our school opens at 6:30 a.m. every day. Yesterday, during the flag ceremony, the principal talked. She reminded us the importance of wearing face masks and she taught us how to wash our hands properly. Tomorrow, we will bring our drinking bottle because we will have a water bell. We will drink water every hour to keep us hydrated and to prevent COVID-19. We also wear our face mask every time we go to school. School is really exciting. For simulation, now try to recall the important concepts you learned today. So now, let's answer the missing words. Tense of the verb tells when an action is done. There are 3 tenses of the verb: the past tense, present tense, and the future tense. Past tense are actions that happen in the past. D or ed are added to the verb to change it in past tense. Present tense are actions that are repeatedly happens. We add s or es to change the verb into present tense. Future tense are actions that will happen. Adding will or shall to the verb will change it in future tense. And for the assessment, using the following verbs inside the verb box, write a sentence in the past tense, present tense, and future tense. Do this in your notebook. So this is the verb box with the verb watch, laugh, listen, acquaint, reflect. I'll just give you the past tense, present tense, and the future tense. And you are going to write your own sentence for the words in the past tense, in the present tense, and in the future tense. For number 1, the verb is watch. The past tense is watch, add ed. The present tense of watch is watches. And the future tense is will watch. Number 2, laugh. The past tense of laugh is laugh with ed. The present tense of laugh is laughs. We add s. And the future tense is will laugh. Number 3, the verb is listen. The past tense of listen is listened. The present tense is listens. And the future tense is will listened. Number 4, acquaint. The past tense of acquaint is acquainted. The present tense is acquaints. And the future tense is will acquaint. And for number 5, reflect. The past tense is reflected. The present tense is reflects, add s. And the future tense is will reflect. So remember, for the present tense, if the subject is singular, just add s or es. And if the subject is plural, remain to its verb. Do not add anything to the verb. So kids, do you understand our lesson for today? Wow! Good job! Kids, I hope you learn a lot from this lesson. Until our next topic, bye-bye kids! Thanks for watching!